6:45 a.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news, edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Mario Vijayavardhana. The headlines. Today, the 12th of April, has been declared a special government holiday. All banks will remain open today. A 5,000 rupee relief payment will be provided to low-income families from today. Many drinking water projects in the Kurunegala district will be vested with the public today. There is an income growth in the Building Materials Corporation. 225 coronavirus cases reported yesterday. 2 more coronavirus deaths reported. In news overseas, Cyclone Saroja storm makes landfall in Western Australia. In sports, Rana, Tripathi, Prashid, star in Kolkata Knight Riders opening win.
Digital accounts can now be opened in 10 minutes. People's Bank Digital Banking, your ultimate convenience.
Today, the 12th of April, has been declared a special government holiday. The decision was taken in view of the upcoming Sinhala and Tamil New Year. Meanwhile, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka says all state and private banks will remain open today, despite being a government-declared special holiday. The government has taken steps to disperse the 5,000 rupee allowance to low-income families affected by COVID-19 through Samurdhi banks both today and tomorrow. Today was declared a special government holiday in lieu of the Sinhala and Tamil New Year. A 5,000 rupee relief payment will be provided to low-income families from today. Meanwhile, steps have been taken to provide a cash allowance of 5,000 rupees to the Samurdhi recipients. The government will provide nearly 3 million low-income families with a cash allowance of 5,000 rupees in view of the upcoming Sinhala and Tamil New Year festive season beginning today. The Finance Ministry announced that this one-time payment will be made to families belonging to 7 categories, including the Samurdhi beneficiary families, the low-income families, the families receiving the Senior Citizens Allowance, the differently abled persons, kidney patients, elders aged over 100 years, and those who are qualified under the aforementioned 6 categories after submitting appeals. According to the circular issued by the Prime Minister's office in this regard, a family will be provided the allowance under one category only. The decision has been taken in view of the upcoming Sinhala and Tamil New Year. An estimated number of 2.8 million families are expected to benefit from this allowance. Samurdhi officers have been instructed to take the necessary measures to hand over the cash allowance to the relevant families prior to the Sinhala and Tamil New Year. The aforementioned allowance for the low-income families is expected to be handed over on the 12th and the 13th of April through Samurdhi banks. Many drinking water projects in the Kurunegala district will be vested with the public today. Accordingly, the Giri Bavahettiarachigama drinking water facility will be vested with the public under the patronage of Minister Vasudeva Nanayakkara today. 300 families will benefit by this project. A sum of 26 million rupees has been spent on this project. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. There is an income growth in the Building Materials Corporation. State Minister Indika Anuradha says the income has increased up to 150 million rupees. The monthly income has increased to 1.5 million rupees. Only 5,000 houses have been built during the tenure of the previous government. However, more than 10,000 houses have been built by the present government within 1 year of assuming office, the minister added. Sri Lanka yesterday confirmed another 55 fresh cases of the novel coronavirus in the country as the total infections detected within the day reached 225. This brought the total number of COVID-19 confirmed in the country thus far to 95,131. According to the Epidemiology Unit, 2,902 patients infected with the virus are currently under medical care at designated hospitals and treatment centres, while the total recoveries have reached 91,631. The death toll due to the COVID-19 pandemic in the country stands at 598. Sri Lanka has reported 2 more coronavirus-related deaths, the Director General of Health Services confirmed yesterday. As per the Department of Government Information, both victims are male patients aged 60 and 72. The new deaths bring the number of COVID-19 related deaths witnessed in Sri Lanka to 598 in total. That's local news.
Debit card, mobile and internet banking along with cardless cash facilities can now be opened in just 10 minutes with no form filling with People's Bank Digital Banking.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The government plans to provide drinking water facilities to all citizens within the next 5 years under the Saubhagya Dakma Visions of Prosperity Manifesto. The facilities are provided to 54% of the population so far. State Minister Sanat Nishanta says the remaining 46% of the population would be provided this within the next 5 years. The necessary funds are allocated for this purpose. The project will be implemented in 3 stages.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In Watchlight, consumers complain of a sudden price hike in certain essential commodities at some mega sales outlets. Even the price of a broiler chicken and a curry fresh chicken are sold at different prices in the private sales outlets. It is learnt that some errant traders are increasing the prices of essential goods, citing various reasons. This has caused immense difficulties to the low-income families. This is for the attention of the Consumer Affairs Authority.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
the best discount in this Aurudhu season, People's Leasing Polivasi. Enjoy an interest rebate of 25% from People's Leasing for all the leasing facilities during this Aurudhu season. Call 011 206 300 for more details. Conditions apply.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
In world news headlines, Cyclone Saroya storm makes landfall in Western Australia. Marcus Söder joins German Chancellor race. England COVID lockdown eases. Boris Johnson warns people to behave responsibly. Tropical cyclone Saroya has hit the coast of Western Australia, leaving a trail of damage. The Category 3 storm made landfall near the town of Kalbarri on Sunday night, with gusts of up to 170 kilometers an hour. It later weakened to a Category 2 system, but the Met Bureau warned of continuing damaging wind gusts and heavy rain. Thousands of homes are said to be without power. The race to replace German Chancellor Angela Merkel is heating up after both leaders of the 2 parties that make up a conservative alliance put themselves forward. Mrs. Merkel, leader since 2005, is set to stand down at September's election. Marcus Söder, who is Bavaria's premier, said on Sunday he was prepared to be the candidate if he had the support of the Conservatives elsewhere. His rival is Armin Laschet, who had already said he would stand. Prime Minister Boris Johnson has warned people to continue to take steps to suppress COVID as the latest stage of lockdown easing comes into effect. Pubs, gardens, indoor gyms and hairdressers are among the businesses that can reopen in England today. Northern Ireland's stay-at-home order is ending and some rules are also being relaxed in Scotland and Wales. Mr. Johnson welcomed the major step towards normality but urged everyone to behave responsibly. And now the main points of the world news segment once again. Cyclone Saroya storm makes landfall in Western Australia. Marcus Söder joins German Chancellor race. England COVID lockdown eases. Boris Johnson warns people to behave responsibly.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
The best discount in this Urdu season. People's Leasing Polywasi. Enjoy an interest rebate of 25% from People's Leasing for all the leasing facilities during this Urdu season. Call 011 206 300 for more details. Conditions apply.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
And now in development news, the University Grants Commission says all state universities will reopen after the Sinhala and Tamil New Year. The chairman of the University Grants Commission, Senior Professor Sampath Amartunga, states all universities will reopen for academic activities after the Sinhala and Tamil New Year under strict health safety precautions. That was development news, and now in sports news in cricket. Kolkata Knight Riders managed the first successful defence in the 2021 IPL despite a blip towards the end of their innings. They managed just 42 in their last 5 overs, but the 145 for 1 in the first 15 proved to be good enough on a dry pitch, with their bowlers exploited. 80 or nothing, Nitish Rana had that 80 night on a track that didn't support his weakness, short and fast bowling. The selfless Rahul Tripathi scored an attacking 50 despite not batting at the position suited to him opening the batting. In scores, Kolkata Knight Riders batted first and made 187 for 6. In reply, Sunrisers Hyderabad made only 177 for 5. KKR won by 10 runs.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
The Colombo Stock Exchange will continue its relationship with the Global Reporting Initiative for another 3 years. Companies listed on the stock exchange are encouraged to use the GRI framework when reporting on their impacts on society. The GRI is an international organization that sets a common language that companies can use to report globally on their impact. The framework scales well depending on the scale of the business and the geography in which it is reported. Through the GRI, the reporting of a company in South Asia can be compared with the reporting of a company in Latin America.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic News. Courtesy of
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The central bank, by way of a directive dated the 9th of April, has placed additional regulations on foreign currency borrowings of the licensed financial companies. Under the new directive, finance companies will have to submit to the board of directors for approval of any foreign currency borrowing. The move aims to stabilize any unwarranted macroeconomic financial sector volatilities created by foreign funding exposure of the finance companies.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasir, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
The Met Department says showers or thundershowers will occur at several places over most parts of the island in the evening or night. Heavy falls, about 100 millimeters, can be expected at some places in the Sabaragamuwa, central, western and northwestern provinces and in the Gala and Mathura districts. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the central, Sabaragamuwa and western provinces during the morning. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during the thunder showers. This weather report was issued this morning at 4:30 a.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasir, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
And now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. Today, the 12th of April, Monday, has been declared a special government holiday. All banks will remain open today. A 5,000 rupee relief payment will be provided to low-income families from today. Many drinking water projects in the Kurunegala district will be vested with the public today. There is an income growth in the Building Materials Corporation. 225 coronavirus cases reported yesterday. 2 more coronavirus deaths reported. In news overseas, Cyclone Saroja storm makes landfall in Western Australia. In sports, Rana, Tripathi, Prasid, Stein, Kolkata Knight Riders opening win. That concludes this news broadcast.